As world population increases, arable land is decreasing in exchange for living space. Our way of life is also changing how food is grown. Vertical farming techniques represent an emerging technology as a solution to meet agricultural needs. The purpose of this rich task is for students to learn how to build a space bucket as a model for future agricultural needs. This task unites concepts from grade 11 math, science, and social studies. The students will engineer a space bucket for various plant types while incorporating design considerations such as depth and size. Furthermore, they will test and revise variables such as soil type, water volume, and different types of light. Through iterative design, students will aim to improve the crop yield.
The mathematical integration involves applying proportional reasoning and unit analysis, as well as interpreting and explaining the relationships among data, graphs, and situations. Students will learn to reason and communicate using mathematics learnt and applied from the general outcomes of Math 10 and 20 into designing the space bucket. Specifically, students will be asked to calculate the ratio of fertilizer to water, size and number of the plants to the space available, and number of ventilation holes. From the trials, the students will then generate graphical representations of their data and demonstrate their predictions and results for optimal crop yield.
Students will study photosynthesis, plant morphology, and the ecological implications of the project. Specifically, students will explore the function of plant structures and the flow of energy and matter in the plant and biosphere, and incorporate what they have learned into their space bucket design for optimal growth. The students will also calculate concentrations and dilutions to determine how much fertilizer is needed for the plants. In addition, how elements found in fertilizer, such as nitrogen and phosphorus, react with other substances. The goal is to engage and encourage students to select the most appropriate fertilizer for their space bucket and manipulate the design to grow their plants.
The purpose of the social studies integration is for students to explore agriculture practices in order to develop perspectives and global awareness of regional and international affairs. Students will research how population density affects agriculture by comparing Canada's agricultural practices to another country. Students will look at the impact of globalization and how Canada's trade connections affect the agriculture industry. To encourage environmental stewardship, students will learn about environmental concerns regarding land clearing, fertilizers, and chemical waste. To demonstrate their learning, students will compose a critical essay on how a space bucket could influence agriculture technology regarding population density, global relations, and environmental impact.
The problem of where to grow food using a space bucket to model innovative technology to meet this need integrates math, science, and social studies curricula. This real-world issue illustrates the concepts in a meaningful and relevant context for students to deepen their learning across disciplines.